This is Swati, working as Assistant Professor in Institute of Aeronautical Engineering in the Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Welcome to today's lecture. In this lecture, we'll discuss some problems on half-wave rectifier. So, as we all know the rectifier, what is the purpose of rectifier, and what are the various types of rectifier, we all know, and we know the mathematical formulae related to the half-wave rectifier. Just we'll have a look at the formulae related to the half-wave rectifier. So first of all, rectifier is a circuit which is used to convert the AC supply voltage into DC. So here the AC voltage applied is given by Vs, which is equals to Vm into sine omega t, and this is for 0 less than or equals to omega t less than or equals to 2 pi. So this is input signal, and this sinusoidal signal will be converted into DC signal. So here this is the Vs, where Vm is the maximum voltage of the sinusoidal input. So where it is having positive half cycle and negative half cycle. So it is plus Vm during the positive half cycle and minus Vm during the negative half cycle. So here, so we can represent it as 0 to pi, it is plus Vm sine omega t and minus Vm into sine omega t for pi less than or equal to omega t less than or equals to 2 pi. This is 0, pi, 2 pi. So on the x-axis, we are taking the angular frequency, that is omega t, and on the y-axis magnitude. So here for this current applied, so as you all know the circuit diagram of half-wave rectifier and all. So the maximum current which is represented with Im is given by Vm by Rf plus Rl. So where we all know that the half-wave rectifier circuitry is this one. So it is having a step-down transformer, and to the secondary winding of the step-down transformer, a diode is connected, and to the diode we have a load resistor across which we are going to collect the output voltage. So this is primary, to which 230 volts and 50 hertz AC supply is given, and this is a step down transformer. So whereas the number of turns in primary is N1 and number of turns in secondary is N2. So this is the half-wave rectifier. So when a sinusoidal voltage is given, so the rectifier, the diode is during the positive half cycle, this point becomes positive and this point becomes negative, and hence the diode will be forward biased. As the diode is forward biased, there will be a current flowing through the diode because it is short circuited, and hence the current flowing through the load resistor, which causes some voltage drop across the load resistor, which is considered as output voltage. So the output voltage is this one, and during the negative half cycle, as this point becomes negative and this point becomes positive, as a negative voltage is applied to the diode, anode of the diode, and hence this is reverse biased. So in that case, as this is reverse biased, it will be open circuited and no current flows through the diode, and hence we'll get the zero output voltage across the load resistor during the negative half cycle. So this is a brief operation of circuit. So when the diode is forward biased, it offers some load resistance that is represented with Rf. So here, if it is the case, then the maximum current flowing through the secondary winding is given by Vm by Rf plus Rl, where Rf and Rl will be connected in series. So next, the average current IDC. So as the main purpose is to convert AC into DC, so there will be DC voltage developed across the load resistor through the DC current flowing through the load resistor. So always the DC current is measured with average value. So the average value of current IDC across the load resistor is given by, so we have the formula for IDC, which is equals to Vm divided by pi into Rf plus Rl. And If as you know that under forward bias condition, the resistance offered by the diode will be very less. For an ideal diode, it is equals to 0, and hence if it is compared with RL, RL is very much greater than RF, and hence I can neglect RF here. In that case, IDC will be Vm by pi into RL. So that is given by 0.318 into Vm by RL, where pi is nothing, where the pi value is 3.14. 1 by 3.14 is 0.318. And we can also write this IDC value as Im by pi also. IDC is equals to Im by pi. So where Im is equals to Vm by Rf plus RL. So this is the average value of current flowing through the load resistor. Next, average value of voltage or else DC voltage developed across the load resistor, which is represented with the VDC, is given by Vm by pi. So where Vm by pi is equals to 0.318 into Vm. And coming to the RMS value. So as we all know that the output of the rectifier consists of both DC components and AC components. So the AC components present in the output voltage is represented. It can be calculated. The amount of AC components present can be calculated by RMS value, where RMS nothing but root mean square value of the voltage across the load resistor is given by Vrms is equals to Vm by 2. So this is the average value across the load and RMS value. Average value always represents the DC components present, and RMS value always represents the AC component present in the output voltage. Now coming to the rectifier efficiency. As we all know that the efficiency is defined as DC output power delivered to the load to the AC input power from the transformer secondary. So this is defined as a ratio of PAC to the PDC, where PAC is given, PDC is given by, as we all know that power is equals to V into I, and we know that V is equals to IR. So if you substituted I square into R, or else we can also write this one as V square by R. So that is why PDC is equals to the DC power delivered to the load is given by IDC square into RL, and PAC is given by IRMS square into RL. Actually, this PAC will be IRMS square into RL plus RF, plus even we have to consider winding of the internal resistance of the secondary winding. So this is the case. But here we need to assume that RF plus RS is very much less than RL. In that case, the PAC value is given by IRMS square into RL. So this is actually the formula of PAC is this. If this formula is to be considered when when the forward resistance of the diode and internal resistance of the secondary winding are given, then we have to consider this formula. And if it is not given, those are negligible. Then in that case, the PAC can be directly calculated as IRMS square into RL. And the ripple factor. So these are the major factors that are to be calculated for any rectifier. So the ripple factor is defined as the ratio of effective value of AC component of voltage or current to the direct value or average value. So that is, ripple factor is given by ripple voltage. It is defined as a ratio of RMS value of AC components or else ripple voltage to the average value. So that is given by VRRMS divided by VDC, and the formula for ripple factor is under root of VRMS square, VRMS by VDC whole square minus 1. This is the final formula. Next, coming to the transformer utilization factor, where it is defined as a ratio of DC power delivered to the load to the AC rating of the transformer secondary. So AC rating of the transformer secondary is given by Vm by root 2 into Vm by 2, where AC, whenever we are calculating AC power, we need to definitely consider the RMS value. So PAC rated will be given by Vs RMS into IRMS. So Vs RMS is nothing but the RMS value of AC voltage at the secondary winding, which is given by Vm by root 2, and IRMS is Im by 2. So this is the transformer utilization factor. So PDC divided by PAC rated. So where this PAC rated is different from the AC input power from the transformer. In case of efficiency we have used, right? So it is the secondary rating, whereas that is AC input power at the transformer secondary. So now coming to the peak inverse voltage of a half wave rectifier is Vm, that is the maximum voltage of the input, and the form factor is defined as the ratio of RMS value to the average value, that is VRMS. That means that the form factor can be given by VRMS divided by VDC, or else we can also take it as IRMS divided by IDC. Either voltage you can take or current you can take. So this is the form factor. Now coming to the peak factor. So the peak factor is also an important factor which is to be considered while designing a half wave rectifier, which is defined as the ratio of peak value to the RMS value. So peak value is nothing but Vm, and RMS value of an half wave rectifier is Vm by 2. So now let us consider. So these are all the formulas that are required to solve the problems on half wave rectifier. Just a glance on the formulae related to the half wave rectifier. Now let us take the first problem. So that is an AC supply of 230 volts is applied to a half wave rectifier circuit through a transformer of turns ratio 10:1. So here the AC supply is rating is given, and that is the turns ratio of the transformer is given here 10:1, and find the output DC voltage and the peak inverse voltage. Assume the diode to be ideal. So here this is the problem. So now we need to solve this one for finding out the DC output voltage and peak inverse voltage of the diode used in half wave rectifier. So this is the circuit, half wave rectifier circuit, in which the turns ratio is given, which is 10:1. That means the primary is having 10 turns, whereas this one is example. And this is an ideal diode. For an ideal diode, you have to consider RF is equals to 0, and it is given that N1 is to N2 is equals to 10:1. That means N1 by N2 is equals to 10 divided by 1 is given. Okay, and here, so here this is the data given here, and now he has given that the voltage at the primary winding he has given, that is, always you remember at the transformer, either at the primary or secondary, we always will have a AC voltage. So that AC voltage will always be represented in terms of RMS value, that is root mean square value. Means what? Here the 230 volts which is given is representing the RMS value of AC voltage at the primary winding of the transformer. So that is, I am representing RMS value of voltage at primary is equals to 230 volts. Is equals to 230 volts. Now, coming to the, so here, as we all know that we have a relation between the voltages and the turns ratio. So N1 by N2 is equals to V1 by V2. That means the number of turns is directly proportional to the voltage. So here we know that now what I am doing, I am finding out the RMS value of voltage at secondary. Voltage at secondary winding of the transformer. So use this formula. So that is given by, I want to find out V2. So in that case, I can write it as V1 into N2 divided by N1. So that is, V2 can be obtained as V1, we know that is 230 volts into N2 is 1 divided by 10. So this cancel. So it is 23 volts. So what is this? This is my RMS value of voltage at the secondary winding. Now I want to find out maximum value of voltage. Maximum value of voltage at the primary winding. Okay, maximum value can be obtained as maximum value at secondary winding can be given by. So we already know that. So that is Vrms is equals to Vm by root 2. This is at the primary and secondary winding. So here we from this one we can calculate. So Vm value is equals to root 2 into Vrms. So as we know that root 2 is 1.414 into Vrms at the secondary winding we have calculated, that is 23 volts. So here this will be given by 32.53 volts. So this is the maximum value of voltage at the secondary winding. So as we know this, now let us solve the first one. So what is the first thing we need to find out? The DC output voltage. DC output voltage. So in order to find out the DC output voltage, so DC output voltage, we already have the formula, that is VDC is equals to Vm by pi. VDC is equals to Vm by pi. So where Vm is nothing but 32.53 divided by pi is 3.14, and whose value we can obtain it as 10.36 volts. So this is the VDC value. VDC value is 10.36 volts. And then coming to the second bit, what is the second bit? We have the peak inverse voltage. So we already know that the peak inverse voltage of diode in half wave rectifier, of a diode in half wave rectifier, is given by Vm. So as we already know the value of Vm, so that is 32.53 volts. So this is nothing but the PIV rating of the diode in case of the given problem. So this is the how can we define the peak inverse voltage? It is the maximum voltage, reverse voltage, with which the diode can withstand without any distortion. So that is the problem. Next, let us take the second problem here. A crystal diode having an internal resistance RF 20 ohms is used for half wave rectification. If the applied voltage V is equals to 50 into sine omega t and load resistance RL is equals to 800 ohms, find Im, IDC, IRMS, and the second bit is AC power input and DC power output, and the third one is DC output voltage, fourth one efficiency of rectification. So what he asked us to find all the maximum current, average current, and RMS value of current, and also the AC input power and DC output power, and the DC output voltage across the load resistor, and also rectifier efficiency. So now first let us identify what are all the values that are given. So here RF is given, which is nothing but the forward resistance or else internal resistance of the diode under forward bias condition, which is 20 ohms. And next here V is given, which is 50 into sine omega t. So means what? So we can approximate Vs is equals to Vm into sine omega t, right? So means from this I can say that Vm is equals to 50 volts. Vm is equals to 50 volts. Next, what is the next thing he has given? RL is equals to 800 ohms, which is a load resistance. So that's all given. And he here he didn't mention any internal resistance of the secondary winding of the transformer. So that means RS should be considered as 0. So now he asked us to find Im value and also the IDC, IRMS and all. So here, no. So as it is given, Vm is directly given here, that is 50 volts. So now we already know the formula for Im, that is the maximum value of current flowing is given by Vm divided by Rf plus RL. Vm divided by Rf plus RL. So what is Vm? 50 divided by Rf is 20 plus 800. So that is 50 divided by 820 ohms. So which is equals to, so that is the maximum current will be equals to 61 milliampere. This is the maximum current. Im value is 61 milliampere. Next, coming to the IDC value. So IDC, as you know, Im, you can easily find out IDC. You can easily find out. So now this is not the second bit. So IDC value is given by Im by pi. IDC value is given by Im by pi, where Im is 61 into 10 to the power of minus 3, where pi is 3.14. So this is IDC value. You will be getting it as 19.4 milliamperes. If you evaluate this value, you will be getting the average value of current through the load resistor is equals to 19.4 milliampere. Next, similarly, IRMS, we already know the formula, Im by 2. So where Im is 61. Im is 61 milliamperes. So 61 divided by 2 into 10 to the power of minus 3. So that is 30.5 milliampere. So this is the RMS value of current flowing through the load resistor. So as we all know this, now let us calculate the second problem, AC input power. So that is, the second one is AC input power. So we know the formula, PAC is given by IRMS square into RF plus RL. So as I told you that if forward resistance of the diode and secondary winding resistance is given, then we have to consider those two in while calculating the AC input power. So IRMS value is 30.5 whole square into 10 to the power of minus 3 into 10 to the power of minus 3 whole square into RF is 20 ohms plus 800. So it is this value will be getting it as 0.763 watts. So always you remember, power is calculated in terms of watts. So if you evaluate this value, you will be getting 0.763. And similarly, DC output power delivered to the load. DC output power delivered to the load. So which is represented with PDC. Okay. So PDC value is IDC square into RL. So IDC value, we know that is 19.4 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into, whole square into RL is 800. So 19.4 10 to the power of minus 3 into 800. So the DC output power will be 0.301 watts. 0.301 watts. So this is AC input power and DC output power. And coming to the so what are all DC output also? Third one is DC output voltage. So the third one, DC output voltage, which is represented with VDC, DC output voltage. So the thing is, we have to remember the formulas. So which is given by VDC. The formula for calculating VDC is equals to Vm by pi, where Vm or else we can also write this one as VDC is equals to IDC into RL. So IDC value, we already know that IDC value is 19.4 into 10 to the power of minus 3 into RL value is 800. So the DC output voltage is given by 15.52 volts. 15.52 volts. So this is the DC output voltage. Now coming to the fourth one, that is rectifier efficiency. Rectifier efficiency. So which is given by eta. So that is PDC divided by PAC. PDC is nothing but IDC square into RL divided by IRMS square into RL plus RF, which we have already calculated. So the DC output power is 0.301, whereas AC is 0.763. 0.301 divided by 0.763. So if we calculate this one, we will be getting, and always you remember the efficiency is calculated in terms of percentage. So into 100. So here now the efficiency will be 39.5%. So this is the efficiency of half wave rectifier, given half wave rectifier. So that is how you can calculate any of the parameters for the given values. Okay. So this is the second problem. So what are all the values given? He has given the input voltage applied. Okay. And the forward resistance of the diode and load resistance. Then we will be able to calculate all the remaining parameters of the half wave rectifier. Let us take the next problem. A half wave rectifier circuit is supplied from a 230 volts 50 Hz supply with a step down ratio of 3:1 to resistive load of 10 kilo ohms. The diode forward resistance is 75 ohms, while the transformer secondary resistance is 10 ohms. Calculate maximum, average, RMS value of current, DC output voltage, efficiency of rectification, and ripple factor. So here in the problem, he has given that V1 and it is a RMS value and it is given by 230 volts. And the frequency is given, that is 50 Hertz. And here he has mentioned the step down ratio, that is N1 by N2 is equals to 3:1. And he has also mentioned that load resistance RL is 10 kilo ohms and the diode forward resistance, which is RF, is 75 ohms and the internal resistance of the transformer secondary is given, which is 10 ohms. So these are all the values given and he asked us to find that IM, IDC, IRMS, VDC, efficiency and ripple factor. So before doing this problem, so as he has given RMS value of the voltage at the primary winding, so we need to find out the RMS value of the voltage at the secondary winding. RMS value of voltage at the secondary winding. So here now what we have to do, we need to calculate the value of, so here V1. So we know that N1 by N2 is equals to V1 by V2. So that means as we know that V1 RMS, so we can calculate the RMS value of voltage at the secondary winding as V2 V1 into V1 RMS into N2 by N1. So which is given by V1 RMS value is 230 into 1 by 3. 230 into 1 by 3. So here this we will get it as this one 3 ones are 3, 3 sevens are 21, Okay. 3 6 are 18. So here we'll be getting it as 76.3 ohms. 76.3 ohms. So that is VA2 RMS value is 76.3 ohms. So as we can calculate V2 RMS here, so we know that the RMS value is given by, at the secondary winding is given by Vm by root 2. So Vm is equals to V2 RMS divide into root 2. So which is nothing but 76.3 into root 2. So this value we can obtain. So here, now this is the V1 value. Now that is a Vmax value. And now we need to find out the maximum current value, that is of Im. So which is equals to Vm divided by, and he has given all the resistances. So the formula for Im is given by Vm divided by Rs plus Rf plus Ri. So Vm divided by Rs plus Rf. So that is Rs is 10 plus Rf is, Rf value is given. So that is 75 plus 10 into 10 to the power of 3. So we can calculate the maximum value here. We can calculate the maximum value of the voltage, current flowing through the secondary winding of the transformer. Next, coming to the IDC, once you know the, you just calculate this value. So once you know the Im value, you can easily calculate IDC as Im by pi. So IDC as Im by pi, then IRMS is given by Im by 2. IRMS is Im by 2. So, he asked us to maximum value, RMS value and average value of current, and then DC output voltage. So the DC output voltage is given by VDC, where VDC is equals to Vm divided by Vm divided by pi. VDC is equals to Vm divided by pi, where we can calculate the Vm value, which is given by 76.3 into root 2. 76.3 into root 2. Okay. So now VDC, as you know that Vm, you can just substitute the value of Vm and you can find out the VDC value. Once the VDC value is known, we can calculate the next thing, efficiency of rectification. So efficiency of rectification is given by PDC divided by PAC, where PDC is nothing but IDC square into RL, whereas IDC square into RL, whereas PAC is given by IRMS square into Rs plus Rf plus Rl. So because the forward resistance of the diode is not negligible, and the internal resistance of the secondary winding of the transformer is also also given. So from this you can calculate. Then percentage efficiency is given by PDC divided by PAC. So into 100. So which is IDC square into RL divided by IRMS square into Rs plus Rf plus Rl into 100. So like that you can calculate the efficiency. And we also have to calculate the ripple factor. As we know the ripple factor formula, that is the formula for ripple factor is Vrms by VDC whole square minus 1. So here, before doing this, we already know the IDC value and IRMS value. So before calculating this VRMS ripple factor, we need to calculate VRMS value, that is equals to Vm by 2. VRMS value is Vm by 2. And already we have calculated the DC output voltage, that is Vm by pi. Just substitute and find out the ripple factor. So the efficiency will be approximately equals to 40.6%, whereas the ripple factor will be approximately equals to 1.21%. So this is the problem. Next one more. The half-wave rectifier circuit supplies 100 milliamperes DC current to a load of to a 250 ohms load. Find the DC output voltage, peak inverse rating of the diode, and RMS voltage for the transformer supplying the rectifier. So here it is given that IDC is given 100 milliamperes and RL is given, that is 250 ohms. So this is the circuit supplies DC current. DC current is IDC. So here we know that the formula for IDC is equals to Im by pi. So from this you can calculate maximum value, which is equals to IDC into pi. Okay. So next, and find the DC output voltage. Find the DC output voltage. So if you know Im, you can easily calculate Vm. Okay. So as you know that Im is equals to Vm divided by. So what are the given values here? RF and RS are not given. So that means those are negligible. So we can say that Vm is equals to Im is equals to Vm by RL. So as you can calculate Im value from this, you can calculate Vm value, that is Im into RL from this one. So once the maximum value of voltage is known, we can calculate the DC output voltage across load resistor as Vm by pi. So I'm not substituting all the values, you just substitute and find out the values here. So Vm by pi. Next, so as RL value is known and Im value you can calculate from here, you can find out the Vm value. Once the Vm value is known, VDC value can be calculated as Vm by pi. So this is DC output voltage and the peak inverse voltage rating. So as it is a half-wave rectifier, which is equals to Vm. Next, and the RMS voltage for the transformer supplying the rectifier. So that means Vs RMS we have to calculate. So Vs RMS is equals to Vm by root 2. So as you can calculate Vm value here, you're substituting the value Vm value here, you can find out the Vs RMS value, which is given by Vm by root 2. Okay, so this is the problem. Next one, a half-wave rectifier is used to supply 24 volts DC to a resistance load of 500 ohms. That means what is given? VDC is given, that is 24 volts, and the load resistance is given, that is 500 ohm. And the diode has a forward resistance of 50 ohms, that is RF is given here, 50 ohms. Calculate the maximum value of AC voltage required at the input. Maximum value of, that means he asked us to find Vm value. He asked us to find Vm value. So VDC, you know that Vm by pi. So simply you can calculate Vm value as VDC into pi, where VDC is 24 volts into pi is 3.14. Pi is 3.14. Calculate the maximum value of AC voltage required at the, even you can calculate the current. Im is equals to Vm divided by, so as RL and RF are given, Vm divided by RL plus RF. So you can calculate the maximum value of current. So the thing is, we have to remember all the formulae of half-wave rectifier, so that whatever may be the parameters given, you can calculate all the parameters of half-wave rectifier by using the formula. I hope it is clear to everyone. Thank you one and all, and I hope you can solve any problems that are asked on the half-wave rectifier. That's all for today. That's all for this lecture. Thank you one and all.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.